What's up, everyone? Chris Record here, and welcome to day 3 of the Faceless Content Academy. Now, today is going to be straight to the point, no fluff. Literally, we're going to be diving into a topic called clipping. Clipping is when you see all those YouTube shorts and all those TikToks that are clips of like podcasts or interviews that go super viral. Those clips are actually easy to make. Anybody can make them, and I highly encourage you to jump on this trend. And also, you could do it all from a faceless account. No one even needs to know your name, know your voice, know your face. You don't need to have an orange hat, cameras, lights, or anything. It can all be done faceless. Okay, this concept is called clipping. Earlier this year, earlier in 2023, I actually taught an entire clipping academy. It was amazing. The clipping academy was $1,500 per person. $1,500. Today's episode is $1, right? So think about how valuable that is. Not only that, but based on popular demand, I went ahead and polled the community. We even had a whole meetup before this. I polled the community, and clipping was in such demand. Here's what we're gonna do. This week, we're teaching Faceless Content Academy. Next week, Monday through Friday, we're actually gonna spend the entire week doing a deep dive on Clipping Academy, okay? Then the week after is gonna be AI. Now, there's multiple reasons we're doing this, but keep in mind, this course generated multiple six figures selling at $1,500 per person. And you're gonna get that entire course next week for $5. It is going to be epic, okay? So, Clipping Academy. This week, we're gonna finish Faceless Academy. We're gonna go right to Clipping Academy. Then we're gonna do AI Academy. Also, to understand, I know some of you are anxious for AI, but because we're having it 1 week out, it actually allows AI Academy to be significantly better. Once you see it, you'll understand why, and you'll be so happy that we pushed it out a week, okay? So anyways, I'm excited. Clipping is something that used to be so difficult, and now it has become so easy. Now, I do wanna say, today I'm gonna teach you how to do it manually, which means we're actually gonna be jumping into Canva, we're gonna be jumping into CapCut, and we're actually just gonna go in and manually clip videos ourselves. However, next week, I'm gonna show you how to clip using AI tools. I'm gonna show you how to download podcasts, how to be able to get them organized, and let AI tools do all this clipping for you. It is gonna be epic. You guys are gonna get a master's degree in clipping. And I do wanna tell you that companies are willing to pay you thousands of dollars to clip videos for them. Entrepreneurs like myself, I mean, think about me. I go live Monday through Friday, every single day, 5 days a week, 2 hours at a time. That's like 10 hours of content. If there are people that are really good at clipping, those people could come to me and say, hey, listen, here's some examples of my work. I can take your content and I can turn it into short little clips that are like 60 seconds each, where I edit them. I got nice music, some captions, some little emojis, and I can edit these, and I can give you a content vault where literally you're posting twice a day on TikTok without having to do anything, Chris. And here's my monthly fee. It's $3,000 a month or $4,000 or $5,000 a month, whatever. That's an opportunity. Someone like me is like, wait, hold on. So I could have content, my own content, and I look good, and it's really actually really cool, and it draws people into my link in the bio so I can make sales from it, and you're willing to do it all for just thousands of dollars a month. That's a no-brainer. It is once you learn this skill can make you a six-figure income alone, just because there's so many people that want it. Everybody wants TikToks, everybody wants YouTube Shorts, everybody wants Instagram Reels, but they don't have the time to do it themselves. So today, I'm gonna give you an episode that's gonna show you how to do it with Canva, how to do it with CapCut. And then next week, I'm gonna dive in and I'm gonna take you from beginner to intermediate to pro, show you how to be able to have a skill that is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and show you how to use that skill on your own channels to be able to make as much money as possible in affiliate marketing. Clipping. It is going to be epic. I'm excited, and that's enough of an intro. What I want to do today is spend all my time inside of a tutorial. You probably won't see a lot of my face today. You're probably just going to be seeing my screen, because I plan on going all the way up until that clock right there says 6. All right? So for the next hour and 15 minutes, it's literally just going to be tutorial based. You guys are going to absolutely love it. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to kick things off. And we're gonna dive in and we're gonna have some fun with this. Okay, so right now I'm on Atlas Academy. So the reason that I'm on Atlas Academy is because I wanna show you that as a member of Atlas Academy, every single time that we have our weekly academies, they're posted under the Builders section. Week 1, week 2, week 3, you get it, right? Now, underneath every single episode is the ability to be able to click here to download episode 1 of the Faceless Content Academy. And when you click that link, it's going to take you into the actual file inside of a Google Drive. Once the file is inside of a Google Drive, all you have to do is click right here, download, and it's going to pull up a little thing right here. It's a big file, 2.3 gigs, so it's too large. You're going to go ahead and download it just like that to whatever folder. I would suggest probably making a folder. Now, this little arrow up on the right shows it's going to take a minute here to be able to download, so we'll let that kind of go in the background. But I just want to point out you could do that for every single episode that we do. You just go underneath the episodes inside of members area and download. Now, you do not have permission to repost the entire episode. I am not giving you permission to repost the full episode. However, I am giving you permission to clip the episodes. And what a clip is it's anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds, or maybe you find something that's 3, 5, 7, 10 minutes long, that's fine. As long as it is a sample, you have my permission granted right here on video to be able to use these samples in your marketing, use it as content on your social media, whatever. You can use wide or you can use portrait mode. We're going to be able to show you how to be able to do all of that. Today we're going to touch on the topic. Next week we're going to dedicate the entire week to it. So just like that, that file is ready to go and I've got it on my computer. Okay, so I have that file now downloaded and it's on my computer. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is inside of the Internet Income System. Okay, if you upgrade to, so builder level, $20 a month, is where you just got access to be able to clip my academies. But if you upgrade to the creator level, so if you're not yet at the creator level, I highly suggest you upgrade to creator. This product is $250 and it's going to unlock a lot of stuff. For example, it's going to unlock Fast Boot Camp, which is like basically faceless automation and social traffic. It's 10 weekly episodes, 10 boot camps, 10 homework assignments, and 10 Q&A sessions, all about faceless stuff. And then Agency Academy, which is all about like more advanced paid traffic and stuff like that. It's just so cool what you can do there. But when you basically go here and get the creator package, you're going to get access to 6,740, plus we're going to be growing that, video. So you got all these different categories, all these categories of done for you content that's used for clipping. So what we're going to do right now is I'm just going to show you one of them. Let's go over here to Motivational Shorts 5. So let's go ahead and access videos. And then it says use template for new design. Use template for new design. All you do is you click this and it's going to go ahead and pull it into Canva. So if you have a Canva account, which I'll put a link below this video. So I think we get a discount on Canva. So if you don't have one yet, I'm pretty sure we have a hookup. So I'll put a link below this video on the replay to be able to get the hookup for Canva. Now, what you got here is you can see there's all these videos, like here's The Rock, whatever, and you can just kind of see, I'll flip through these. There's all these videos that have already been clipped. These are short form videos that literally are all clipped and all ready to go. There's 50 of them. I mean, look, I'm just going through them really quick right now. And the thing is there's something I'm going to teach you how to be able to do with these. So you're going to simply get the template and you're going to pull it into Canva. Okay, so now I got all these videos in Canva. Let's start with The Rock. Okay, now what I want to teach you how to do is something called adding your logo or adding your faceless brand to the video. So I'm just going to make something up for this example. So let's go over here inside of Canva. Let's go to Elements. Now, by the way, I have a Canva Pro account. So if you notice a little crown on one of the assets, on one of these things, that means that you have to be paying for it. Okay, but if there's not a crown, like this one doesn't have a crown, that doesn't have a crown, that doesn't have a crown. Anything that doesn't have a crown comes with the free account. So that's the basic. If you use this, it's not going to let you export the video unless you're a pro member. It'll let you use it, but you're not going to be able to download it. So that's just all you have to know. But I would suggest a Canva Pro account. It's pretty cool. So we're going to go over here to Elements, whatever, and let's just type in logo. Now, there's a bunch of different types of logos we can use. Let's go over here to Graphics. Now, the first thing you're going to do is they're going to give us a bunch of different elements that we can use, right? So we can basically just create a logo here in just seconds. Look at all these different elements that we can use. There's just tons of them. And we can just go on and on. They have thousands and thousands of things. Let's just grab one. I'm just going to grab this one right here, whatever this is. And we're going to click on it. Now, what it did was it brought that logo onto this existing video. Let's go ahead and let's make the color white or some type of an off-white, something like that. And then let's lower it down a little bit. Okay, so right now we have a logo. Now maybe we also want some text, if we want to basically, put up our brand. So let's go ahead and add a title, and let's make that title the same white. And now let's just go ahead and this is a little method I use. I like to drag it all the way to the left, right to the edge of the border. And then I like to drag it all the way to the right, just like this. And now we could add a title. So let's come up with a name. Motivation, not motiversity. Oh, elementality. Okay, that might be existing somewhere. Like the right mentality, and I'm using an element. So look at that. I just created a logo. Elementality. Now you can drag this thing around and it'll give you a grid line. It'll pop up a line. That's how you know it's centered. There you go. Elementality. I just built a brand. So now my watermark, right? My logo watermark is on this video. So for example, if I press play.
My dad was a man who.
It's now on there. However, this is big and obtrusive, right? So what I want to do is I actually want to make this a lot smaller and less obtrusive, because I'm not, the whole thing's not really all about me. The whole thing is about the video. So let's go ahead and just make the text a little bit smaller. Let's see what that looks like. All right, that's like a nice and tight little logo. Now the other thing is, when you put a watermark on a video, you want to make it a little bit more transparent, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on it, and see this little transparency little grid right here? You click on that and you can make it all the way transparent. You can't even see it. All the way visible. So you got to kind of find a sweet spot. So let's just kind of make it a little lighter, a little lighter, a little lighter. Let's just say the sweet spot, let's just choose the number 40. Okay, so I made it 40. Now, for the text, I also want to tell you what you could do with this text. So obviously you can choose a font. I'm using the font Montserrat. And let's go ahead and make it Montserrat Black. And then that's the font size, bold. I made the color. And now let's go over here and show you. Now this right here, if it's, I can make it all uppercase. I already wrote it all in uppercase though. This just makes sure it's centered. Now the one that I want to show you about is this, effects. When you click on effects, it has none, right? But at the very least, I probably want to give it a little drop shadow, because it's going to be hidden. It's going to be a little bit hidden on all these videos. So let's just give it a slight drop shadow. I'm going to click on shadow. I'm going to go over here and make it a black drop shadow, just like this. Click off, and then I'm going to make the transparency all the way up to 100. Now, you can't really tell because it's so tiny, but that will make a little bit of a difference. And now the last thing I want to do is I'm going to go over here to transparency, and let's see what it looks like if we match 40, just like we matched on the other one. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm actually kind of digging this right here, right? So we'll kind of look at it, what it looks like a lot closer, right? So there is my logo. Elementality. Now, of course, I can mess with the fonts, I can mess with everything, but we're still not ready yet, okay? The next thing that I want to do is I want to be able to make sure that this logo is positioned so that it's going to not be covered up by all the little things that are on TikTok. Like the little things are going to be things like, down here on the bottom, there's going to be buttons on TikTok, and over here on the right, there's going to be like sharing options, stuff like that. So I want to make sure it's not covered. So I've already uploaded something, but I'm going to provide this resource below the video. Okay. So there's resource, which is called Safe Zones. Now, if you want to find these resources yourself, all you got to do is just Google TikTok Safe Zones, TikTok Safe Zones PNG. Okay. And go to images, and like this is, I just grabbed this one right here for this example, but that's all you gotta do is I just grabbed this one. This is a little safe zones template. So this white area is the area that for sure will be seen. Then everything else is kind of like, you never know, it depends on the browsers, right? So you wanna basically have whatever you're doing, you wanna try to have it here in this kind of whited out area. So I saved that. So, just simply right click and save. And then you're going to go into your uploads, and you're going to upload that file here. So as you can see, I have it uploaded. Then you're just going to click on it. It's going to bring it in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it all the way to the top left and all the way to the bottom right. I'm just going to make it the full width, just like kind of make sure it's right there. There you go. So now this right here shows me my workspace. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to take the position, and I'm just going to go backward once. Now this is going to be weird, but there's my logo. Let's zoom in on it. Let's see it. Now, of course, this is a white background right here, but there's my logo. All I want to make sure is that this word is above the black space. So for example, if this word were, sorry, let me click on this word. This word were like showing up like this, then it might get cut off, if that makes sense. And so that's really all I'm looking for, is to make sure it's above the space. Now, as long as it's above the space, I actually noticed, I got a little bit more room. I could even put it right here, right? So I could even put it a little bit lower. Now, once I make sure it's above the black space, make sure it's centered, then I'm just gonna click on this little background again, click on this whole background, and I'm just gonna delete it. That's up. I just use it as a little thing. It's just right here in my uploads. I just use it real quick. Now I know that my logo is above the safe, it's in the safe zone. So now I'm gonna probably take this and just kind of lower it. Now what I wanna do is I wanna just spend a second getting my logo looking just right. I just wanna make sure it kind of looks good. Am I happy with this? Because this is gonna become my template. So once I'm happy with it, all I gotta do is click on this one and shift click. And that basically shift click means you're highlighting two items. So I clicked on one and then I held down shift and clicked on another. Now I've selected two items and then I'm going to group them. Just like that. I just hit group. Now that's one item now. That is simply one item that's ready to go. Now, the thing is we can play it right now if we want to. We can look at it.
who, against the odds.
Okay, so now we got our little branding on there, right? But now that we have it, watch what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna click copy, right? So you can basically just right click and copy or Command C. I'm on a Mac, I don't know what it is on PC, maybe Control C, something like that. Command C. I just wanna copy this. It's grouped, it's ready to go. Once I have it copied, look, it's on this whole video, right? Actually, I wanna do one more thing and then I'm gonna copy it again. I wanna do one more thing actually to make this a little bit cooler. Let's click on this and let's go up to the animate button. Now, animations allow you to be able to do something, kind of hover over them and it'll show you what it's doing to your actual logo. Since this is a video, it's not a picture, you have a lot of different animations of what it'll do to your logo. So you can kind of see which one you like. For this example, let's just use rise. And then both, it should be automatically selected. I can change the speed or whatever. And then reverse exit animation. So I want it to rise in and then basically go back out the same way it came in. Now, if we go, let's go back and play and let's look. Now there's no logo there in the beginning. So watch the screen really quick. I'll make it a little bit bigger actually. Okay, just like this. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Now watch the screen.
My dad was a man who...
There you go. It folded in. You see that? We'll do it once more. It just kind of came in.
My dad was a man who...
Just like that. And I could always even go further and I could slow it down. Speed it up or slow it down, I mean. So we can go and we can just play with that if we wanted to. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's drag this to the beginning and let's press play.
My dad was a man who...
There we go. So it looks good. And then just to be sure, let's go to the end. And let's go to like right here and press play.
When it's earned and you have to go out and earn it every single day.
And it went away. So we have succeeded. We now have our logo animated. We've created one in seconds for a faceless brand. And we have it animated as a watermark on top of all these videos. Now the next step. Now I'm going to actually copy it, Command C. Okay, so when you copy it, now what I want you to do is I want you to maybe jot down notes if you want, but here's the process. I'm going to click this video, and then I'm going to press my right arrow on my keyboard. Look at what it did. It took me to the next clip. Then Command V, paste, and it's right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click back on the video, somewhere in the video, and I'm going to press my right arrow. And Command V, click, right arrow. Command V, click, right arrow. Okay, you guys get the point. Now watch how fast I'm gonna go. Command V, click, right arrow. Command V, click, right arrow. Command V, click, right arrow. Okay, I'm gonna do it a few more times because I want you guys to get it. Command V, that's the video, click, right arrow. Command V, click, right arrow. Now, I'm just going to be doing this in the background while I'm kind of talking to you, and I just want to explain to you what you're doing. You are now adding your watermark to 50 videos. To 50 videos. That's what you're doing. You're adding it. There's Kobe, right? You're adding it. Boom. We're adding it, and then we're clicking on the video, and then we're going to the next one. We're adding it. We're clicking on the video. Now, I'm not kidding. I'm going to do this 50 times. I think the process takes about 2 minutes to be able to do this, but what it's going to do is it's going to actually create my own custom folder full of all of these different videos that now have my branding. And then what I'm going to do is inside of Fast Bootcamp, we teach how to schedule these. So inside of Fast Bootcamp, you can go and you can actually schedule these out in the background, and you can schedule out a month's worth of content on your Faceless social media channels. I don't think I'm gonna have time to teach scheduling today because I'm gonna be diving into doing big videos with CapCut today. So we're not necessarily gonna dive into it, but in the background, I'm just gonna do this just to kind of show you in real time. Some of you might go, okay, I get it, but I just wanna show you. And also the next step is I'm gonna show you the difference between if you have a free CapCut account or a paid CapCut account. But yeah, so basically I'm just going through. It looks like I'm going through fast, but I'm just doing the same thing. In case you need a reminder, what I'm doing is, okay, Command V, paste, then click the video, and then click the right arrow. Command V, click video, right arrow. Okay, it's that simple. Command V, click video, right arrow. And it's faster. Right now, I'm actually sharing multiple different views, so it's even faster when you're just doing it yourself on your computer. You can actually, if I was not sharing right now, I could actually do this incredibly fast. So yeah, so all I'm doing is I'm adding my asset, and of course it's 50 videos, so it takes a minute, but I'm just gonna do it because this is what you're all gonna do, so I might as well show you how to be able to do it. So again, we're almost done. Give it a couple more, and then I'm gonna show you how to export these. But this is cool. So again, this is also something you just teach your kids to do, okay? So all I did was I focused on making a logo, and you can create a logo. There's so many logos, but there we are, we're done. We just did that to 50 videos, okay? So now they all have it. Let's just press play really quick.
I got still at work.
Look at that, it came up, and it just sits there.
Yeah.
And it's in the safe zone,
Person I know.
and it's good to go. So it'll be used on multiple platforms. It'll be right in the safe zone, and it works for all of these done-for-you videos. So just like that, now we have all these videos. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna title this Elementality Shorts. Let's call it 5 because we downloaded number 5, right? So now we're gonna just title that up there, and then we're gonna go over here to share. When you go to share, you're gonna simply go over here to download. Now, when you go to download, you're gonna download MP4 video. You don't need to worry about a higher quality because this is high enough for social media. Here's really the only option you need to worry about. Download pages as separate files. So here's the big deal. This has a crown next to it. So this would be, this right here is probably one of the main reasons why you want to upgrade to a Canva Pro account. We'll put a link below to at least get you hooked up on that, but it's very, very inexpensive. This is a super popular program, very, very inexpensive. But if you have that, then you can literally check that and it'll download 50 clips all individually. If you don't download that, then what you have to do is you have to download each clip manually one at a time. So what you would do if you don't have this is you would go here, you would deselect all those, and then you would do page 1 and then done and download. And then you would go, once it's done, you would go to the next one, you would choose page 2. So you can save money. If you don't want to buy it, you just don't have to use any pro features. It just takes a little bit more time. But for me, I just want to do all of them, pages, all of them, download pages, separate file, then I click download. Now, what it's doing in the background is it's a 2-part process. One is it's going to download all of these videos. And then number 2 is it's going to, when this is done, it's going to ask to save it to your computer. And then it's going to take like another 30 seconds to actually get the whole file on your computer. So this is going to take a little while. But while this is going in the background, I want to go ahead and show you another tool that we're going to be teaching today. And the next tool that we're going to be teaching today is called CapCut. And CapCut is, we're going to go ahead and Google search it really quick. So let's go over here where we have the TikTok safe zones, and let's do CapCut. Now CapCut is a video, back to all. CapCut is a all-in-one video editor that's super, super beginner friendly. And so what you want to do is you want to come here, and it's free to use. Now they have a pro version as well, and I'll show you how you can use the free version or the pro version. But what I encourage you to do is I encourage you to use the desktop version. So it recognized I'm on a Mac, and so I'm going to download the desktop version. I don't necessarily want to use the web-based version. It takes so much longer because it doesn't have any of the files. You got to upload all the files, right? Probably the download link would work right here. Download professional video editor on the desktop. That's really what we want right there. The professional video editor on the desktop, and then it's just going to want to download it. You just download it, you open it, or whatever. When you're done opening it, you're going to have a little icon. It's going to look like this, CapCut, and it's going to pull up a little screen like this right here. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to make this screen a little bit bigger for now. Just like that. There we go. So here's a bunch of videos that I have inside my CapCut right now. 55 projects in this one. And this is actually a new account that I upgraded to, as you can see the newer date. But let's go over here to, actually, let's see real quick if, yeah, this one's ready to go. So let's download in the background, Canva was downloading that, and it's ready to go. Up here on the right, I see my little arrow. It's waiting. It's in progress. Let's wait for it. And let's now open this. And let me pull this over real quick. Let's unzip it. And it's going to create a folder. And let's open that folder. And here's all these videos, MP4 files, video files,
My dad was
that all have the watermark coming up on them. They've all got my logo on them.
When you're grateful,
They're all branded to me. Now, if I wanted to take more time, I could have individually gone on and changed the transparency on some of them. If I really wanted to, I could have spent more time changing the transparency, because sometimes maybe it's better to have a black logo. Sometimes maybe change it, but I just wanted to do it as fast as possible, right? But I want to show you that's how easy it was. That whole entire folder just got done. So let's go back over here and let's spend some time on CapCut. So when you open up CapCut, you can get a pro account. That's what I have, but I'll show you the difference. You're going to go over here to New Project. Okay, so hold on, open back up my other window. There it is here. Okay, so it's going to open up a new project. So just like this, I'll make this full screen. This is what a new project window. Okay, so inside of the new project window, what you want to do is you want to import some content. Well, if you remember, I downloaded that episode just a second ago. So let me go to my downloads folder and pull it over. Okay, so I downloaded episode 1, Faceless Content Academy. I downloaded it from Atlas Academy, and I'm just going to drag it over here. Boop, just like that. Okay, so just like that, I now have that episode is inside of my CapCut. That's how easy it is. You just downloaded it from the Google Drive and drag it there. The next thing I want to do is I want to drag it also down here to my timeline. So now I've got that episode in my timeline where I can edit it. So this is like a folder of all the assets you want to work with. And this down here is your timeline. Now, real quickly, a few things you're going to be using that you're going to want to get familiar with is they have the ability to zoom out on the right over here and the ability to zoom in. Okay, so the benefit of zooming in, like let's get really close, for example, let's get a little bit like that, is you can start to see the audio files. That's one of the benefits of zooming in. So you'll kind of know like the proper places if you need to cut something, you'll be able to make a cut without interrupting the speaker. So that's one of the benefits of zooming in. Now, I'm on a Mac, and a Mac has the touchpad. So all I got to do is expand my fingers. So you might be seeing me doing this a lot, which is, you know, I'm pinching and zooming, right? Pinching like this and scrolling out. I'm just doing this on my trackpad. So if you don't have that, you would just do that over here, okay? Or figure out what the shortcut is to do that yourself. All right, so let's look at this. Another thing I want to show you how to do is do what's called marking an in point and an out point, okay? There's obviously a lot of things you could do up here. You can split clips, you can delete. There's all these things, but I usually just figure out what the shortcut is, and I just use the shortcut. So if you ever wanted to, you could always just kind of go through here and figure out what things are. But I do recommend having this turned on, auto snapping, which is turned on right now. Auto snapping. If this for some reason is turned off, if it's not lit, turn this on. That's going to help you, especially if you're new. Just make sure that way when you're moving things around, it snaps right into place. It's very, very nice. Okay, so if we look at this, let's mark an in point and an out point real quick just to show you. Go to the beginning of the video, and I'm going to press I on my keyboard, the letter I. Boom, and it marked an in point. Then I'm going to go over here to the end of the video. I can go over here, and I can press O, and now it's marked an out point. Now this means that if I were to export this video right now, it would export whatever is in between the in point and the out point, I and O. And there's probably some other, there's probably some stuff you could do up here to be able to figure all that out, There's probably all these different things. But I and O, it's pretty easy to remember. Now another thing I want to do is I also want to recognize, I could click on here and I could title this something. So let's do this Faceless Clip 1. Okay, that way I kind of just know what project I'm working on. So, give it a name. That's just good organization. Everybody should do that. Okay, so I got the in point and I got the out point. Now, this episode is 1 hour and 44 minutes long. However, I'm looking to get a clip that's less than 10 minutes. But I could probably get multiple clips out of this. I could probably do multiple different clips. So you kind of scroll, this is called scrubbing. All I'm doing is I'm taking this little cursor right here and I'm scrubbing through the clip. I can kind of preview everything that's in here. Okay, I go through that section. There's some Instagram training right there. Then there goes into some slides, you know. I draw some more stuff up on the board about niching down, going broad, how to do niche research. So right off the bat, I could already tell you, I go through, just looking at this, I go through 4 biggest obstacles. Then I go through some Instagram training. Then I go through types of channels, some slides. Then I go through niching down right here. Then more niche research. And I break down like all the niches, stuff like that. Okay, and and then I go through bridge marketing. There's another section, bridge marketing. Then I go through, looks like I'm going through a bunch, I'm going through niche research. Then I'm going through a funnel, faceless marketing funnel. There's a little guide on how to make PDFs. So you kind of see, like, you start to get ideas. When you look at a video like this, you start to get ideas and say, wow, there's a lot of things that I could do with this. There's probably 7 video ideas and we're basically at the halfway mark. So that's what you want to look for. You want to what I would do is I would grab a notepad and I would kind of write down some basic ideas. And also, if you guys are watching Zooms live, you can learn to do this live. Like when I start a new thing, when I start a new topic, you can look at your notes and you kind of go, okay, here's a general overview of the 7 or 8 things Chris covered today. And that'll be even easier because now you can find them. So look, we got the whole funnel thing. We got that funnel section. After that, we've got Midjourney. We're creating graphics in Midjourney. That's a whole Midjourney tutorial right there. That's another one. That'd be a great video. Look at that. Very powerful video on Midjourney. Really good. And it's not even that you have to share the whole thing. Just you can share part of it and get people to pay for the whole rest of it, right? Then we go into talking avatars, show an example of talking avatars. Okay. And then it looks like we wrap up for the most part. Okay. And then music video. All right. So there's probably 10 ideas in here. Let's just use one right now for this example. Let's just use whatever the first one is. Let's see, what was the first one? It was the 4 biggest obstacles. So what I'm doing is I'm scrubbing right here to the left. I'm moving my cursor to the left, somewhere right around here, before I get started.
Always called a whiteboard.
And then I'm going to play
it. It's really a flip chart, right? And so let's go 4.
Okay. I said something like it's like a flip chart, right? Okay, let's go 4 biggest obstacles. Oh, let's start right when I say the word 4. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. Remember, you can use this over here to zoom in. It'll zoom in right to where your marker is. Watch, I'll zoom all the way in just to show you. It'll zoom right to where your marker is. So I'm right there. And then I can just kind of scroll left to kind of get that right in the center. And at least now I can kind of see the audio files a little bit to be able to kind of see what that looks like. I kind of see when I start talking. But let's zoom out a little bit just so you can kind of get a bigger perspective. So I notice the audio file got big there. I notice I kind of start talking here. So let's move the cursor here and let's play it.
Biggest.
I already said biggest. I want to go back to when I said 4. So I must have said 4 back over here.
Oh, let's go 4.
Okay, is it right here?
Go 4. Go.
Oh, it's right there. So I say 4 right here. So now this is where I want the video to start, right there. So what I want to do is I want to cut that clip, right? I think there was a little shortcut up here where you could split it. So you can click this right here, boom, and it just split the clip right there. But I'm going to undo. And I also want to show you that right here, split, it gives you the little shortcut, Control plus B. So I'm just going to press on my thing, Command B, boom, Command B. I just split that. Now that I split that clip, that's where I want to start. Now I'm going to click on this, all this stuff before it. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to press delete. Okay, now look what happened, right? Let's zoom all the way out. Let's zoom all the way out. Now if we go to the beginning of the whole entire thing, now the video starts there.
4 biggest
obstacles. And it starts there. And you can kind of see here, kind of the spaces and the volume down here just kind of show that there's gaps there. So that kind of shows like, then I really start going in. So you can kind of see. Now, 4 biggest obstacles. Okay, I've got a start point. Now we need to find a stop point. So let's zoom out and let's use our scrubber to try to see where the out point is. So let's kind of scrub to the right and see what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. So we found the in point. That's the first part of clipping. Now I want to find the out point. Looks like I'm still talking about it, but now it looks like I'm doing my slides. Let's scroll back a little bit and let's see what I'm saying here.
Then we can say, okay, here's a strategy that could work. Let me try that strategy. If that strategy does.
Okay, so I'm going to listen to this. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to listen to this for a second and try to see if there's a good end point.
Work, I can cut it off and I don't have the same emotion that I would have tied to my personal brand. And so that is probably one of the biggest things about faceless content is.
By the way, in the comments, let me know, in the chat real quick, let me know, can you hear my screen? Can you guys hear my screen? Okay, I'll just keep playing then.
It completely overcomes fear. So I think we do.
Okay, so it completely overcomes fear. That sounded like a good stopping point. So let's go here.
Completely overcomes fear.
Okay, so completely overcomes fear. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to look at this audio file. So I say the word fear right here. You can hear it when I say it. Watch.
Fear.
Okay, so here I say the word fear. Now what I want to do is I want to kind of give it a little bit of room right there, but I want to clip it again before that next audio chunk. So again, I'm going to go right there, put the cursor there, and press Command B. Now, if I play from here,
So I think we do a pretty good job at overcoming the biggest obstacles there.
and so basically at this point I'm moving on to something else. So now watch what I'll do. I'll take this whole after section and delete it. Now, if we zoom out, now we have the actual clip, right? So let's go to the beginning of it and let's mark an in point by pressing I. And let's go to the end of it and mark an out point by pressing O. So now we have a 7-minute and 19-second video. To me, that is a lot better. So that is the first part of today's tutorial. The first part is teaching you when you take an hour and a half or 2-hour clip, I want to find a section that's like ultimately like less than 10 minutes. And I want to basically do what I've done here. I just found a good start point and a stop point, and I removed everything around it. And that's actually pretty fast to do. I'm doing it live on the spot when I'm doing it. Somebody says, I just noticed your voice sounds different in CapCut than what it does live on Zoom. Yeah, you guys want me to tease you real quick with that one? Hold on. This is gonna be a little tease. That is because we're gonna cover this in AI Academy, but I use this tool right here. A little bonus tease right here. Look at this. Day 2, Faceless Content Academy. Right? So I run all my audio through Adobe Podcast Enhance. I crank it up to 100%, and then I download the files. Adobe Podcast Enhance. I run all my audio through Adobe. Look at this. I just run everything through here. The reason is because I'm recording here out of the house. They're doing construction next door, and I'm just speaking. I'm a lot of time I'm just speaking into my computer microphone. But Adobe Podcast Enhance makes it seem like I'm speaking on a professional mic, and it gets rid of all the construction. Right now, there's actually a massive amount of construction going on right next door. They're testing alarms on a new building. There's just so much stuff going on. But in the final replay, you can't hear any of it. Okay? So I just wanted to give you guys that as a little teaser. Thought that'd be fun. I'll teach that in AI Academy. So we've got our start point. We've got our stop point. Now, what we want to do is this video is just not good enough. This is just too regular. Now, could it still work? Yes. But it is too boring and basic. So I don't want you to spend hours on this. However, let's find a couple things that you can do. Let's look for something. I'm going to show you how to actually make it even shorter. Let's see if we can find something that we could clip again. Let's see.
You don't know what to do. And then over here is the big one.
Okay, what do I say? I say fear. Okay, I'm looking for something I can clip out.
So if you want to write these down.
Okay, I cough right there. So I'm going to show you now how to cut segments out. The big one, fear.
And then over here is the big one.
Okay, let's wait till it's done. We'll wait till I write it. I say fear.
Fear.
Okay, the big one, fear. Okay, now let's make a cut there. Command B. Now we're going to make a cut here, and we're going to play, and we're going to see maybe where I'm going to pick it back up. So it's going to end at fear.
So if you want to write these down, take notes. Taking notes is always encouraged.
Look, I'm doing random stuff that's not viable.
Take some notes, okay? So why are these obstacles important?
There we go. Why are these obstacles important? So this is what's called removing fluff. Now, I'm going to explain to you why we do this, but I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to do another Command B. This part right here is what I'd consider fluff. Let's go ahead and watch the fluff again, just so you can kind of see.
So if you want to write these down.
Okay, so I cough, and then I tell people to take notes, and then I go like take a sip of water or something like that, or I put the pen over.
Take some notes, okay?
I'm really doing nothing. So this is called fluff. Now, the reason I like to cut these out whenever I have time is I look for opportunities to cut out fluff because 1, it'll make a video shorter. 2, it'll get straight to the point more for your viewers. And 3, you're actually improving the video. The biggest goal you all want to do is you want to improve upon the video. I'm just doing a live stream. I'm just recording live. You guys have the ability to actually make these videos significantly better, right? So watch what I'll do here. I'll take that little filler. I cut the beginning to the end. By the way, let me tell you another shortcut. On my computer right now, if I press the up arrow, it takes me to the up arrow takes me to whatever the last cut was on the left, whatever to the left, whatever the next thing is, right? The down arrow takes me to the right. So a lot of times if you see me just quickly jumping around like this, it's just up and down. So you can pretty much get familiar with up and down. So here I am. I want to get rid of this. So let's click on it and let's delete. Now notice it took the clip to the right and it just snapped it right to this timeline. It snapped it. That's because this snapping is turned on. So now let's listen to this transition and let's see what happens. Okay, let's kind of listen from here. Let's look at it. Look at the video.
Fear. Why are these?
Okay, there's a little cut there, right? Kind of see that? It kind of jumps. All of a sudden I'm on the whiteboard. I back up and then boom, I'm over there. That is called a jump cut. In the industry, that's called a jump cut. Now, what I like to do during jump cuts is you just kind of put your cursor right in the middle of it, and you go over and go to a transition. Click up your own transitions, and you can just choose one. Let's look at what this one looks like. You just click on it,
Fear.
and it gives you a preview of what it's going to look like. All right, let's click on this one.
What?
Okay, it kind of gives you a quick little preview of what it looks like.
What?
Okay, so you can go through and you can kind of find whatever. They got so many different jump cuts. You can literally just go through and find one that you thought was cool. It doesn't really matter.
What?
Okay, they're all pretty good. So watch. And I have the plus button. If you don't have the plus button, you might need to download it. See how this one has a download button? Because you have to download some of them and then you can hit the plus button. So once you got one, you want to see what it looks like, you're just going to go ahead and press plus. Now it added that transition right there. So by the way, if something's highlighted and you don't want it to be highlighted, you simply click anywhere on the timeline and now it'll just show regular. So now let's play first. Let's see what this transition looks like.
Fear. Why are these obstacles?
Okay, so this transition's fine. Of course, there's probably better ones. So let's go and let's zoom in a little bit. Now here's a few things we could do with transitions. So anytime you make jump cuts, you can make little transitions. You can grab them and you can extend them and make them longer. Let's see what a super long one looks like.
Okay, so fear. Why are these obstacles?
So notice when we did it long, the problem is that it's taking audio that we clipped out of the clip and it's taking it and makes it messy. So the problem is if you go long like that, it's going to start blending a lot of that audio from that filler clip we cut out. So let's try really short. Let's go real short like that. And let's see what that sounds like. It looks like.
Fear. Why are these?
Now you can't even tell, right? That jump cut was so short, you barely can't even tell. So all you really do with transitions is you just try to find a sweet spot for something that looks good. It just takes a second, just play with it. And maybe a little bit more than that. You're just looking for the sweet spot, open it up a little bit.
Why are these?
And let's see what that one looks like. Kind of a fast one, but let's see.
Fear. Why are these?
There we go. We now have a transition. So it looks like we did it on purpose. So this is fine. You also don't have to do transitions. I just figured I might as well teach how to do them. Okay, and there's just so many you could do. There's glitches, there's light effects, there's so much stuff you could do. So that is called a transition. Now, I'm not going to sit here and do that through the whole video, but I wanted to show you how that's done in case you wanted to learn how to do that. Now, the next thing I want to show you is how to do text overlays. So let's see what we say here. The four biggest obstacles. Okay, so we need some text. Let's put it right back to the beginning. And let's go over here to text. Let's click on text. Now, you could just use the default text. Let's kind of see that default text would just look like that. Kind of boring. You know, you could always play with it. But let's go over here to effects. Now, these look a little bit cooler. So let's click on some of these and just look at them. Okay, a little bit better. Okay, kind of cool. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm doing here? You're just going through and you're just looking for some. So you can see how many there are. I mean, look at this. There's just so many to choose from. There's just hundreds. So I'm not saying to get carried away, but you know what I'm saying? Like if you ever see TikToks that kind of pop, usually they're using CapCut because CapCut comes with all of these different default things. I'm just kind of showing you right now. But like, don't get too carried away. It was on like fire. So don't get too carried away. Some of these are going to be pro. Like this would be a pro one. And some of them are not. Some of them are just like this one looks like it's just free.
Or
Okay,
biggest.
so just find one. I don't care which one we
Or
use. Let's just grab one real quick.
biggest.
Let's go.
Or
Let's just use this one,
biggest.
just so we have a thing. Okay, so there's some default text. To use it, we're gonna hit the plus button. That's when you click on it, just previews it. Plus button. Now that added that text into our video. Now here's where you edit text, up here on the top right. So let's call this 4 biggest obstacles. Okay, just like that, 4 biggest obstacles. And let's just quickly show you what you could do with text. Okay, I could change the font size right here. I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller. I could change the actual font itself. I use Montserrat a lot. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's pretty cool. 4 biggest obstacles. And if I wanted to go even bigger, I'd just go bigger like that. Just click down and up, okay? So 4 biggest obstacles. I can make it bold and see if that looks better. Kind of play with it, bold off, bold on. Okay, let's leave bold on, just go for it. I can make it caps. That's what it would look like, all caps lock. And that's what it would look like without caps lock. Sorry, title text, all lowercase. So you can kind of play with these and just kind of see what you like. Okay, let's just stick with this one for now. I could change the color of the font. Right now I think the white looks good because it's got a background popping it out. Okay, now there's other things you could do. I can center it or whatever. You don't need to worry about these preset styles because I used one over here. These only come in handy if you're using plain text. Okay, position and size. You can scale it bigger or scale it smaller. I'll show you that in a little bit. Position. Now this is important to know, right? You got the X and you got the Y radius position. So let's just see what happens if I start clicking the down arrow a bunch right here, right? You'll kind of notice on screen that I'm gonna go ahead and hold down on it. When I click down, it moves to the left. See that? It's moving it to the left, okay? Now, let's go back to 0. And if I click up, it moves it to the right. Now, at first, I'm not gonna ask you to memorize this, but at some point, when you get some experience, you wanna know if I want it to move to the right, I give it a positive number. If I want it to move to the left, I give it a negative number. And you could also take notes on this. To the right, position positive, X equals positive. To the left, X equals negative. So once I know that, if I really want to move something, I don't want to go up and down. I'm just going to do, let's say, minus 500. And look, it brings it all the way over there. Okay, let's do just 500 without anything. Or sorry, I put minus again. Let's just do 500 without the minus and moves it all the way over there. And if you're ever worried, you just go back to 0, okay, and press enter. So that kind of lets you know you're going to move it left and right. The first one, the X, is left and right. Now the Y is going to be up and down. So if I go ahead and press the up arrow, it moves it up. And if I press the down arrow, it moves it down, right? So down is negative, right? So negative is down, positive is up. So again, I could go like this, minus 500, and it moves it down there. Or I could just erase that and do 500, and it moves it up there. And if I want it back to center, I just press 0. So that's really all you need to know about that. This right here just kind of helps you snap it in different places. If you want to quickly snap things somewhere, you can, you can quickly kind of snap things. You could align it to the top, like you could click like this, align to the top, and align to the top left. So if you just really quickly wanted something on the top left, you could always put it there. And of course, we could always drag it and get it right where we want as well. However, when you're working with a lot of different fonts, like captions, you don't want to be dragging things around because it'll change all the captions. So you can always drag it around as well. I just want to show you so you guys know what it is. Now, when it's up here, let's go back to center and center. Okay, now it's right back there in the center. Now, blend is looking fine. Now, one thing that you could do is you could always add like a stroke. Okay, stroke is currently unavailable on this font. Oh, because it already has all this stuff going around it. This stroke will come in handy on some other stuff. But there's other stuff you could do. You could curve it. Sometimes it'll be available, but sometimes these default fonts are stuck with what we have. But bottom line, that's enough of a tutorial on that. Let's look at that, and let's look what it looks like.
4 biggest obstacles.
Okay, 4 biggest obstacles. I'm still writing it out.
Okay.
Okay, so somewhere right around there is probably where I want it to end. So I want to leave that title up. I'm going to drag it all the way to the right to that line. Now, that's going to stay up that whole time. Look at this. It's going to stay up that whole time. Okay, so the other thing I might want to do is let's give it some animation. Okay, so we're going to click animation. And let's kind of, as you scroll over, you can kind of see what these animations do, right? So let's see what this one does. Let's click on it. And it pulls it in like that. That's pretty cool. Let's click on this one. Ooh, that one looks nice. Stroke fill. And then down here on duration, This just kind of says how long you want that, how long you want to delay it. Let's see what it looks like at 2 seconds.
Biggest.
Oh, that kind of looks clean. So now let's go back and let's go back to the beginning and let's see now what this looks like to start off the video.
4 biggest.
Okay, looking pretty clean, right? Now, we might also want to fade it out. And so what we'll do is we'll click on it again, go to animation, and this time click out. And we're going to click on stroke fill, the same one, and maybe we'll change this out one over here on the right to also be 2, just to see what it looks like. Okay, we're going to click off, and then we're going to go back to the beginning, and let's go ahead and preview what we have.
4 biggest obstacles. Okay, so here's the 4 big.
Boom, that looks great by my standards. 4 biggest obstacles. Let's go. Now, maybe we want to add something below it. So, right, we have 4 biggest obstacles. Maybe we also want to add something below it. So maybe we look at like another type of text. Let's go to, let's say, this one. Just for, no, let's go to, let me find one that's maybe more just basic. Let's go look for, I wonder about this one.
Obstacles.
Maybe. I don't want to get too fancy here. Click on a couple. Okay, let's just use this default. Let's use this one maybe. Okay, default text here.
Obstacles.
All right, so this one right here, if I want to add this, I'm just going to press plus. And now it's adding a second line of text. Let's move this one down so we can actually see it. Okay, let's change this and maybe make it a tagline. And how to overcome them. Okay? Now you'll notice it's huge, but that doesn't really matter because we're just getting the text in. We just want to make sure the text is in there. 4 biggest obstacles and how to overcome them. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go through, and if you remember all the stuff that we did before, we're going to go here and we're probably going to change this font to Montserrat, and then we're probably going to make it bold because that's kind of what we had before. And let's make the font size smaller. That looks like a pretty good font size right there. And now let's just kind of take these 2 things and let's just play with them. So let's maybe get this one a little bit higher and maybe get this one a little bit tighter to it, something like that. And now we've got these 2. Maybe that's a little bit too close, okay? And of course, you could always use the position X and Y over here. So if you remember on the positioning, you're going to be able to position, remember you can go down to go down like that. Okay, 4 biggest obstacles and how to overcome them. So now let's figure out, let's move this over to the right for now, down here on the timeline, and let's figure out when do we want it to come in. So let's watch this and figure out when do we want the second line to come in.
4 biggest obstacles.
Oh, and it kind of comes in perfect. So we could kind of do it there, but let's just kind of do it for the sake of this. Let's do it all at the same time, just to kind of make it. But we could do, I'm just showing you guys how you could do it. 4 biggest obstacles and how to overcome them. So now we're going to take this one. We're going to go to animations. We're going to use the stroke fill. We're going to make the duration 2, which we did for the other one. And then we're going to make the in and the out both 2. Okay, so stroke fill
4
and make it 2.
4.
Okay, now they're both the same. Now let's see what they look like together. And you could always tweak it.
4 biggest.
There we go. We've got our title.
Obstacles.
I'm going to let it go.
Okay. So here's the
There we
4
go.
biggest.
Now we've just created a very simplistic title intro, which has improved the video. You've taken a video of just a talking head, and you've started at a better point with no fluff. You've added a title that was actually just took a couple minutes using default templates, and you're good to go. Now, at this point, at the end of this title, I'm going to go ahead and mark a new endpoint. Okay? So now my new endpoint starts here. I've already got the beginning done. I'm happy with it. So now the new endpoint is going to start here, and I'm going to do something like, let's do text, but let's go to auto captions. So now let's go ahead and click auto captions and click create. And we're going to let this create auto captions in the background. While we do that, I'm going to take a sip of hot tea. But watch, it's going to create these automatically for you. This is why CapCut is used by so many people. And look at that. Now we have captions everywhere.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles. Okay. Over here you have
Look at that.
black.
So it's already put all these captions in. Now I'm going to probably delete the captions in the beginning. Okay, so watch.
Biggest
I can keep it.
obstacles. Okay. So here's the 4 biggest obstacles. Okay. Over here you have.
Now, also I did notice that what I could do is the beginning is kind of slow. I'm not really doing anything here. I'm just writing it out. So another thing I could do, let's watch.
So here's the 4.
I say, so here's the 4, right? So I'm going to show you something I could do. I might say, I actually like where that starts a little bit better even.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles. So what I could do is I could literally drag this right here over to the beginning there. I could drag this caption over to the beginning here. And let's just see what this looks like really quick.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles. Okay. Over here you have lack.
I kind of like that better, to be honest. So here's the 4 biggest obstacles.
Okay.
And then probably end them right there. So I'll probably drag it just to that, make the title a little bit shorter. That's actually more straight to the point. You're improving the video. So we're going to watch it once more and see how this new start point sounds.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles. Okay.
Now the problem is that is too short. So I got to make it a little bit longer. Sorry for the delay there. Let's make it to like right there. I want to get the good part of the intro because the first few seconds is where you capture people's attention, right? So you want to find a good point.
Here's the 4 biggest obstacles. Okay. Over here you have lack.
There we go. I actually like that better, right? So that's pretty cool. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make sure anything before this endpoint, I just want to delete. So I'm going to select all this, highlight and select. Oh, sorry, I got to cut that right there. My bad. We're going to make a cut right there. Remember, Command B. Made a cut. And then also, by the way, if you're stuck on cut, like if you're stuck on Command B, see how it's this little razor? If you ever want to get off this razor, you're like, oh my God, I'm stuck on this razor. Just press A, the letter A on your keyboard, and it turns it back to arrow, right? So B, I just press B, it turns it into a little razor. A turns it into an arrow, which allows you to be able to select stuff. So I'm just going to select this and delete it. And look, that's my new endpoint. So now I'm going to go back and look at my new starting point I just did in seconds that made the video better.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles. I think we can all agree, watching in real time, how that significantly improved the video. Now, the question is, do I like these captions on or not? We'll figure that out in a minute, but I'll tell you what I don't like. These captions to me seem pretty vanilla. They seem pretty plain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to show you something really cool you can do with captions. See all this red lines up here? It auto-made all these captions. All I got to do is drag and highlight and select all those captions. Just the captions. I'm not selecting anything, but just the captions. So now I have these captions all selected. Now what I could do is I could come over here and I could play with them. What do we want to do? Let's make the captions Montserrat font. Boom, it changed the captions. Let's make the captions all uppercase if we want. Or let's make them title case, okay? We could change the color. We could change anything. Let's go here and let's play with some of these designs for the captions. Let's look really quick. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, let's click on yellow. Boom, it puts black font with a yellow background. And you could always just press the space bar and it'll show you kind of what they look like.
Over here you have
they're coming in.
Black.
Right? So let's see another one. Okay, let's go to we got to go to a part in the video where there's another caption so you can preview it. There's of money. We'll get a little bit further in the video where the captions start coming in more often. Okay, keep going.
Over here you.
Okay, over here you have black. So right off the bat, I'm thinking, okay, here's my thoughts. I'm thinking, let's go uppercase. I like that's a little bit better. I like this one. That's got it kind of matches the background of this video, so that one's fine. I like Montserrat. So Montserrat, uppercase. The font size I think is decent. You know, you don't want it too big. We'll make it one more. We'll see what that looks like. So let's keep going and let's look at, we can skip all this. I like that it's centered and low like that. I think that looks good. Now let's click on stroke. and it just added a black background. Let's click off of it. And look at that. It kind of makes it pop more, huh? So you kind of look at that just in one click. I'm like, you know what? That looks pretty good. We could always change this, make it a little bit lighter if we want. 30. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. You could choose a background. You could choose a glow, a shadow. It's like, hey, maybe I want to change that red to an orange. Maybe I like that more. Okay, so you can kind of figure out what you want to do. And then that's all we really need to do. Now, let's just press play and let's see. It's going to keep them highlighted for now, but they're not going to stay highlighted. They're not going to stay with the square around them.
That's another big obstacle. Over here you have lack.
But it's nice. The captions automatically came up.
Skills.
You know what? As I'm watching this though, I'm thinking maybe I, okay, there. Or knowledge, you just don't, okay, so yeah, that's a good size. Okay, I like these. I think we're good enough to go. So once you like them, then you no longer need to have them all highlighted. So just click anywhere off the screen. So now I've got all these captions on the whole video. Look at this, all the way through. Now what I like to do in a video like this is I like to spend maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes just going through the captions. So I'm going to zoom in and I want to basically look at the captions real quick and I'll show you how to be able to make any changes you might want to do.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles.
So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to take out the word okay. That word is not necessary. So I'm just going to click on it. I'm going to go in there and just delete the word okay. So now let's go back to the beginning and just look at that. Look at how much better it is.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles. Okay. Over here you have.
You can do the same thing. You can click on that one and take out the okay. Now, the rule of thumb for captions is a lot of times what I'll do is I'll actually turn off the audio on my computer. Captions are perfect for people that don't have audio, right? So at the same, I don't want them just reading the captions the whole time. I want them to watch the screen. So when you're doing captions, you just want to think, is this a good display for somebody that doesn't have sound on? So that's really all I'm looking for. I'm just trying to do the captions as on their own. If somebody were watching this video on mute, the captions would be huge for them, right? And also, once you get the captions right, another benefit is that you could actually make these things multi-language. I could sit here and I could create a Spanish version, a German version. I could do this for any market I wanted to using any language I wanted to. That's what's cool about this. Now, the other thing I really don't like, it's up to you, is I don't necessarily like these gaps. So what I'll do is, remember, the up and down arrow is going to take me from caption to caption to caption, right? So here's another thing that I like to do. It's a little extra step, but what I'll do is I'll just drag these all the way and snap them right on grid right there, okay? Just drag till they snap. And then go to the next one. I'll go to the beginning of that one, and then I'll just drag till they snap. I don't know if I'm going to do this all live because there's more that I want to cover, but I'll just drag till it snaps. And then I'll go to the next one, and I'll drag till it snaps. Now, this is, you might think, oh my God, you have to do this on all of them? No, you actually don't do this on all of them, right? Right now, I'm taking a lot of pauses. So the problem is CapCut doesn't realize, like, these pauses are because I'm drawing something out, right? So you just kind of can keep going. It'll look a little bit cleaner. It'll leave the stuff up there a little bit longer for people. So in the beginning right here, there's a few of them that I just think these gaps alone would look a lot better if I just snapped these over here to the side. And I'll show you the difference. But I'll just snap it again, and I'll do a couple more, and then I'll show you. So I just do this. It's just an extra second, and it just kind of, instead of the captions just going away, it just leaves them up a little bit longer. Okay, we'll see what that looks like. So now, let's go back to the beginning of the video. I could press up arrow all the way back to the beginning, and let's look at it.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles. Okay. Over here you have lack of money.
Okay, so I already like it more. I like that it stays up. Now, what if you noticed something was way off, all right? Lack
of.
So it seems like it says of earlier. If you ever thought something was way off, you would just go like this. You would go like that and then move of money a little bit sooner. Now, that's fine tuning, so I don't think you're going to need to do that much. I just wanted to show you how.
Over here you have lack of.
There you go.
Money.
Now it comes in nice. Okay, so if we zoom out, you'll notice I just filled in all the gaps on these early ones. But if you look, there's only like a gap here, a gap here, a gap there, a gap there. So there's going to be a few gaps throughout the video, but not many. If I wanted to close all those gaps right now, see, there's like no gaps at all. If I wanted to close all those gaps, I would just do it. Now, another reason I like to close these gaps. Let me give you one more reason I like to do it. Okay, let's go to this one, for example. There's a gap right there. Another reason I like to do it is that I can use the down arrow and close this gap, and at the same time, I can do 2 birds with 1 stone. I close this gap, and I'm able to preview. These are the 4 biggest things that stop people. So now I'm able to press the down arrow, and I'm able to preview from achieving success, and especially when it comes to success in online marketing. So look, there's no gaps, but it allows me to preview the text. So I can just really quickly preview and kind of see things look good. So far, everything's looking good. These captions look good. And I can and then see, since I'm previewing the captions anyways to make sure they came in good, it's not very hard at the same time to do 2 birds with 1 stone. To preview to make sure the captions are good. I like to cut out ums, uhs, anything that I repeat a word twice. I like to cut that out of captions. It just takes a second to be able to hire anybody, to be able to scale. Anyways, it goes on and on. Lack of money stops you. We're going to keep going until I find a mistake. Okay, and we're going to keep doing this. I'm sure I'm going to find one because I repeat things all the time, and as they always say this. Okay, hold on. There was a mistake there, right? Okay, perfect. As they always think about wanting to start up a side. Okay, I think that should be side hustle. As they always think about wanting to start up a side hustle. Okay, now I put in hustle. So now, so let's look at it. We can listen to it.
So they always think.
They always think about wanting
to start up a side hustle.
There we go. See, I messed up. That's why the captions got there.
A side hustle.
A side hustle.
A side hustle.
So now that's where it ends, right? So now so I basically added side hustle to the one before. I'm just showing you how if you wanted to clean something up, that's how you would do it. I added side hustle to this one here. You'll see. I added side hustle to the end. And now I listened to where I ended the word side hustle, and I ended it right there.
A side hustle.
Side hustle. Okay? Somewhere around there. We could just get it fine-tuned if we really want to be perfectionists, okay? Now, I'm going to look at the next one, and I already said side hustle. So now I'm going to delete side hustle from the next one. Or a side business or an online business. So now, if I zoom out a little bit, that caption is just going to be a lot better.
Check. So they always think about wanting to start up a side hustle or a side business or an online business.
Now it flows perfectly. So I don't need to do that right now, but if I wanted to, I would go through the entire video like this. And it basically seems like a big task, but keep in mind, it's really not. Like if I were to sit here, if this were just a working session and I didn't have to teach you, this whole video from start to finish, I would have done inside of 10 minutes. Like it could be done fast. I have to think about how to teach you, and I got to take all these breaks, and I got to think about showing you every little thing. So that's why it takes a little bit longer. But anyways, I would do that for the rest of the video. Just kind of check things. Let me see if I can quickly go through and find any ums or uhs. I'll kind of go through really quick, looking for one. You know. Let's just see what that says real quick.
They're tired.
Yeah, so what I'll do in this case, I'll just take that whole thing and just delete it. Okay, and just open that one up all the way. And let's just see what that looks like instead.
There's a week, they've got a fam.
Okay, so look. I want you to imagine right now, you're just watching on mute. They're just working 80 hours a week.
They've got a family. They're tired when they...
See, there you go. I cut out the It was a useless thing. So if my goal is to improve the quality of a video, then I'll just quickly run through the captions like this. It auto-captioned it, but it doesn't mean it won't make mistakes. I might say a word that CapCut doesn't know. That's an important word. Like, what if I said the word LTV, but it didn't know what I meant, and it just it just put up a random word? Well, I will catch that if I'm just kind of speed going through these. I'm just pressing the down arrow right now, and I'm just looking, and I would go, and I'm not cutting the captions, but I'm just doing this. Look at this, at the end of this, Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just going to go up here and just erase that. See how simple this is? There you go. It's just that simple. So it's not that it's hard. It's just that if you're trying to improve a video, it's just that easy. Mike, you're on the TV. It's just that easy. And so you kind of go through like this. Anyways. And so like, let's say inside of Atlas Academy, what if it accidentally thought it was the word, like, let's say at last, right? So you would catch that, and then you would just simply go in there and you'd fix that, and then you would keep moving, right? Fix it, and just go back down here and keep going down, boom, boom, boom. So anyways, you get to a good point. Now, the last thing I'll kind of do here is I'll go to the beginning, And what I'll probably do on this very first caption, click on the very first caption, is I'll probably add an animation to the first one to maybe like fade in or something like that. Okay, maybe give it like a 1 second or something.
So here's the 4 biggest.
Okay, so now let's look from the beginning and let's see what that fade in looks like.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles.
Yeah, it's just not as abrupt. I might even fade it in more. I might go, well, that still kind of came in really, really tight. I think maybe we'll do 2 seconds. And so you just go in there, just the first one. I'm not saying to do this to all of them. I would click the very first one, fade, and then you just change the duration to like 2 seconds or whatever. Just the first one, okay?
Here's the 4
So now let's kind of just look and see what it looks like. Let's go back to the beginning.
So here's the 4 biggest
There you
obstacles.
go. Now it looks nice. Okay, that video is good to go. Okay, we got 10 more minutes. Let me go ahead and show you what else you could do. Now, the pro version and the free version. The main thing you need to know about the pro version and the free version is that when you're going and doing things, you'll notice a little pro icon. If you use anything with the pro version, if you use anything here, if I use this in my video, it won't let me export it without paying. Okay? But if I just use this one, if all I'm using is free things, so if you make a video and you try to export and it forces you to upgrade, that means that you have you have something that was pro inside of your file. Okay? But anyways, let's just keep going. This to me is I think this is a good looking video. I do think we could spice it up with one more thing. Now I'll teach this a little bit more in AI Academy, but there's one more thing, AI Beats. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link for all these below the video, by the way, CapCut, Canva, AI Beats. But there's a tool over here, AI Beats, okay? And you guys are gonna be able to get access to this. And this is the way that it works, right? You're able to generate a track by AI. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to look and I'm going to see how long my clip is. It looks like it looks here, I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna mark an in point right here, in point. Then I'm gonna zoom out and we're gonna go over here to the end. We're gonna mark an out point just to make sure. 6:59, so it looks like I got it just under 7 minutes. So I need 7 minutes of music to add to this, right? So I'm gonna go over here to set duration. And I have a paid account. If you don't have a paid account, you have to make a smaller one and you have to duplicate it. So if you don't have a paid account, you're just doing it for free, you know, you have to like get like let's say, I don't know what the limit is, it's like a minute or whatever. Then you use a minute and you would just copy it 7 times. But I'm gonna go ahead and do 7 minutes. And I got to choose something I want it to be, right? And I'll teach this in AI Academy, so don't worry about that. But let's go, and I'll probably actually choose, I'll teach this more in clipping too. I'll teach this a little bit more next week. But let's go over here to genres, and let's just choose I could choose chill hop. Okay, notice I did a lot of chill hops recently. These are my recent ones. 7 minutes of chill hop, and then all I do is I press generate track. Now, AI is automatically generating, and I can just do it a few times. Look at this, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can generate 5 at a time. It's generating me 5 7-minute songs that are automatic background music that I could automatically use. Now, I'm gonna go over here to my generated tracks. These are the generated tracks right here that are generating, these 5. But notice before this, because I knew it would take a minute, that'll take probably like 5 minutes before those are done, okay? Maybe even 7 minutes. So I already did some in advance, right? Here are 4 that I have generated tracks. And just to kind of give you an example of what it is, I'll press play. This is all just done by AI, just automatically off of, I just chose hip hop 720. It's like elevator music, basically. So anyways, you can get these, and if you click this button right here, it'll download it, and it will save it to your downloads. So now you click view in your downloads, and these are all my downloads that I have ready to go. Now, here's what I'm gonna do though. I already made this one right here. This video right here I already downloaded to save time. So once I've downloaded it, once in my downloads, I actually now download it to my computer, just like this. Press save and press downloads. Okay, now I've got it saved right there to my computer. So literally that stuff just takes minutes. So don't worry, we'll teach more about that. Now when I'm inside of CapCut, I'm gonna go back to my media. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to drag, let's see if I can just quickly pull my folder over. I'm gonna drag this track right over there. Boom. Now I got that track, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag it all the way to the bottom of this file. Okay? All the way to the bottom. It's gonna be underneath it, right? Now it's a little bit longer because this track is 7 minutes 20 seconds, so I'm gonna shorten it right to there. Snap. So now I have audio in the background. Let's listen to how this sounds.
So here's the 4 biggest obstacles.
sounds great, but I can't hear myself. So what I'm gonna do is while it's playing, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna adjust this volume. So we're gonna let it play and I'm gonna show you.
Over here you have black.
Now I can't really, now I can hear me, but not really the music.
Muddy. That's a big obstacle for people.
Now there's
Over
too
here
much
you have
music.
Black.
So I find as a default, what I like to do
Time.
is
That's another big obstacle.
minus
Over
20.
here you have black.
That's usually, me and Mike Nolan do these videos all the
To be able
time,
to
minus
buy
20.
programs, to be able to afford advertising.
And I'll skip through and
It's actually
listen.
quite hard. We encourage you to take.
And just like that, I have music. Now, you know, I got a few minutes, so let me actually show you one more thing we could do. So let's kind of look for something where I say something in my, inside of Atlas Academy, right? So, whoops. So there I say Atlas Academy, right? Inside Atlas Academy.
Well, inside of Atlas Academy, one of the benefits is that we actually do a decent job at covering all.
Okay, inside of Atlas Academy, one of the benefits is we do a decent job at covering all these for people. And see, it says people watch.
For people, watch.
Okay, so that little section right there, I'll zoom into it. I could put what's called B-roll. Now, I'm gonna have to teach more of this inside of the official Clipping Academy, but I'll tease it right now. So if we go over to Chrome, and I go back to Atlas Academy in one of my windows. So if I go back here, right? If I go here, and then what I could do is I could just use a screen recording tool like Loom or QuickTime or something like that. I happen to have QuickTime. It'll make it there's Loom is already open because you know I use that one a lot. But I happen to have QuickTime. I could just go to my applications and I could just go to QuickTime, okay? So I go right here to QuickTime Player. We don't need to worry about that. Okay, I have QuickTime Player open. Then I can go up to File, and I can do screen recording from inside of QuickTime. And so what's going to happen now is it's going to record my screen. Now, I think I have to move this, because I got two windows open, I have to move this all the way over here. Hold on, give me a second. I'm not used to having two windows, so I got to move it over to your screen. So it actually records what I'm teaching here. Okay, hold on. So I make basically my window, if you will, what do I want to record? I don't need to record all the top browsers. Let's just record this portion. And so once I have that ready to record, there's a little record button. So I'm just going to hit record on QuickTime. And right now QuickTime is recording. I have my audio turned off, but it's recording. So now it's recording. I'll just kind of scroll down or something like this. Just kind of scroll down. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to go ahead and press stop. So what I just did was I just created a QuickTime recording on my screen. Here it is. There's the end file. And I just recorded my screen. You could do this with any number of editing tools, okay? So there it is. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that into CapCut. Now, I'm going to only tease this to you right now because I want to end. I got more stuff to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab that file. It's in my recents. Here's my screen recording. I just recorded. I'm going to drag it over. So now I've got this screen recording. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it right into here. Okay. So I dragged it right there at the beginning. So let's kind of look what this looks like.
One of the benefits is that we actually do a decent
Okay,
job
so it
at
pulled it
covering
into
all
the
these
clip,
people. Watch.
but
Lack of
I'm going to look
money.
for the place where I start scrolling. So I start scrolling right there. I'm going to make a cut right when I start scrolling, and I'm going to remove everything before it. And then I'm going to drag this over. Okay. And just like that, now let's look at it.
I mean, one of the benefits is that we actually
Okay, looking pretty good. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it up a little bit because I think it doesn't look good with me in the background. So if I just simply scale it up, if I press the up, let's scale until it looks more full screen. And now let's go back and let's see what that looks like.
Atlas Academy, one of the benefits is that we actually do a decent job at covering all these for people. Watch.
Okay, so there we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to this caption, and I'm going to delete the word watch. That word doesn't make any sense. And then that's kind of where I want this screen share to end. So I'm going to click on the screen share and kind of end it right there on the watch. Okay, so now I've got a screen share in here. Now, I'll have to show you to do more with this later, but I want to show you what I could do. I want to end it on watch. Let me open it up a little bit more. And now I can actually go over here to speed. And let's just hit let's zoom it up. Let's speed it up. And let's speed it up again. Let's speed it up again. Let's speed it up again. So now it actually ends right next to where the end is. And I'll kind of just drag that right. Perfect. Now let's watch that and see what it looks like a little bit faster in the background.
Academy, one of the benefits is that we actually do a decent job at covering all of these for people. Watch. Lack of money.
Boom. So, Mike, let's go back to the main thing. I'm going to do a wrap. Okay, you guys, listen, I'm pouring my heart out here, trying to teach you as much as I can, but we got deadlines, we got commitments, we got stuff like that. It's 6 o'clock. Now, my mind is saying I want to go another 4 or 5 hours on this, okay? But I can't. But the idea is like, listen, these skills are modern. There's really not a lot of people that are doing it right. And even like, if you just learn these, I didn't even show you the short form clipping. During the whole week, we're going to show you how to make short form videos. But I'm just showing you, this is what you could do. And once you're done, you're going to go up just to export. And you're literally just going to export that video. And it's going to be that easy. It's going to be something so simple that you're able to do. So today was an introduction to clipping. That's how you're going to be able to use what's called other people's content. You're going to be able to find podcasts and clip out a little 5-minute segment. I showed you how to do it the wide version. Now, that works really well if somebody's training with like a whiteboard and drawing things out or whatever it is, or they're showing a screen tutorial. But if somebody's just being interviewed, what we're going to do is going to put it in portrait mode. And it's going to look so amazing, use the same things. That's what we're going to be teaching the entire next week. So, let me ask you a question. Was today worth at least $1? Let me know in the live chat. Was it worth at least $1? You guys, I covered a lot. You could go back and watch it. Replay will be available tomorrow morning. You already know that. You already know I stay up and edit all the videos. Was it worth at least $1? Did I earn your dollar today? Honestly, this water might have cost. Actually, the water does cost more. This water that I'm drinking costs more than that episode. I gotta start drinking tap water at this point. Jeez. All right, you guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. Woo! Got a lot of work to do. By the way, if you guys are watching on-demand replay, next week you may not see me in this set. I'm gonna be traveling. I'm speaking at an event for a company called High Level, and I'm gonna be speaking at their conference and performing on stage, some music and stuff like that. So I'll probably be on my laptop, but clipping week is gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. But with that being said, tomorrow's gonna be day 4. Why not continue the value? I hope everybody had a great time. I gotta wrap up. Take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate y'all.
Fresh new whip and the color's orange. Stocked up fridge like I seen from Cribs. Sunset views and the weeks don't end. Traveling the world with a few best friends. Facebook ads and the money's passive. Instagram ads to bring more traffic. Snapchat vids with the orange hat kids. In the audience we just want success. And we don't care about the obstacles and the haters that keep saying it's impossible. All I know is that we gotta go level up our lifestyle if we love the game. And we don't care about the obstacles and the haters that keep saying it's impossible. All I know is that we gotta go level up our lifestyle if we love the game. Living the life, the life of an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur.
What's up, man? You look stressed.
Kind of hard to pay bills when your bank account's negative by $200.
Have you tried getting a loan?
Yeah, right. When's the last time you heard somebody getting a loan when you have a 485 credit score?
I think I know someone who can get us out of this mess. I think you should give him a call.
Success success leaves clues. Knowledge is the key, so equip with the right tool. Mindset mastery, millionaire mentality. Focus on your inner game, perception is reality. Always make sure that you're following your passion. Rise it, grind it, take massive action. Stay true to the game daily with persistence. Following your game plan, gotta stay consistent. When you feel a little bit of fear coming from the voice up inside your ears, telling you the struggles of your past years, stay focused on your purpose and why you're here. When you feel a little bit of fear coming from the voice up inside your ears, telling you the struggles of your past years, stay focused on your purpose and why you're here.